City Council. At this time, I'll call on Councilmember Smith, who will lead us in the invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day, and I thank you for all that you have done and what you will continue to do. Lord, guide us as we go about the business of the city, and keep our minds and hearts on your will. Please continue to give us clarity and peacefully, effectively, and with integrity. We ask all these things in your mighty name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ciara.
Will the clerk please call the roll for the establishment of a quorum?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Here.
Councilmember Smith?
Present.
Councilmember Harris?
Present.
Mayor Draper?
Here, a quorum is established. Is there a motion to waive the reading of and approve the minutes of the August 15th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Draper?
Yes, those minutes are approved. Folks, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? With that, then I will move that we adopt the agenda as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Draper?
Yes, the agenda is adopted. We have no public hearings tonight. We will have a public hearing on the 19th. Anticipate that we'll be passing budget amendments tonight. And then in accordance with our Council Manager Act, the vote on the budget would occur following that public hearing on the 19th. We do have unfinished business, and that is the resolution to adopt the budget. We can get that on the floor so that we can consider amendments. So I will move that we remove the budget resolution from the table and place it on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Draper?
Yes, the resolution is back on the floor after having previously been moved forward and seconded for consideration in a previous meeting. Council discussion. At this time, I first want to thank all the members for working so closely with each other and with staff on these amendments. I believe that the amendments that I will be making cover all of those collaborations. So my amendments will be to, which again reflects the body, I believe, will be to increase the police administration budget by $38,000 for wireless data service to the camera systems. This expenditure will be covered or offset by reserves. 2, increase outside agencies by $10,000 to bring the total appropriation of Coosa Valley Juvenile Center to $150,000. That $10,000 would also be offset by revenue. Thirdly, from the general fund, increase non-departmental by $15,000 to bring the total contribution or allocation to Anniston Express to $340,000. This has to Rescue Act and bond proceed funds allocate $400,000 in Rescue Act funds to Regional Medical Center to be used solely for capital improvements and equipment, and 2, allocate $225,000 in Series 22 bonds for park playground improvements and capital improvement equipment. That is my motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Council discussion on these amendments. Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll on these amendments?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Draper?
Yes, those amendments passed. And I guess, Bruce, the prudent thing to do at this point, I guess, would be to retable the resolution again, and then we'll take it up again on the 19th. Okay. With this, then, I will move once again that we remove from the floor and place on the table the budget resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the issue of tabling the budget?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Draper?
Yes, the budget is tabled, and again, we will take it up with these amendments at our our meeting on the 19th following the public hearing on these amendments. Let's move on down to the consent agenda. Is there a motion for passage and adoption?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Jenkins,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Harris,
Yes.
Mayor Draper.
Yes, the consent agenda passes. Folks, are there any additional or other matters that may come before the council?
No, sir.
With that, then, let's move on to public comments. First up is Ms. Shawana Hill. I do not see her. Mr. Ray, you are second. And again, sir, if you would, in accordance with our rules, please take your name and address, and if you would, limit your comments to 3 minutes or less.
Thank you, sir. Third Council, down Hall Road. One of my concerns may be moot, but I'm going to ask the question. The addition that you given to the Anniston Police Department, that's something that put cameras and things in the police car?
Internet service of cameras. For the existing cameras.
So, okay, we'll talk about that. But I got one more concern. Being in the neighborhood, in the community, and also putting over saying that you didn't put your back on 100 feet before you even put your need to turn. I have a concern because I can be at a red light, then it's like, oh, I can go back home. And if a car behind me, I can put my back on, just turn and be able to go home. And according to the day door, it's against the law. Now, I done call the state troopers that said they're considered on the state highway, and that can let a person know that you've been concerned to keep them at a risk. I think they're doing it in the community. And I don't know anything about the community. Well, I called down to Montgomery, to the Attorney General's office, spoke with the black lady down there, and brought up the same concern. She got the office, we don't have nothing to do with that. Can you talk to your council? And I said, the council don't make laws. So my concern is, I want to know, in writing, is it authorized for police officers in the community to pull you over if you didn't turn the brake on before 100 feet before you make the turn? And if it's a policy of the law, I like to get it right. I like to see. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. Okay, Mr. Jackson. And again, sir, if you would, in the course of our rules, you state your name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, this is Richard Jackson, 2317 Millie Street. There's not a whole lot that I have to add to what Mr. Ray said. I had the honor of being a grand jury juror this last week. Some of the things that Mr. Ray was addressing, there was a lot of that going on Jacksonville, we were the county officer, so officers from each jurisdiction. And they used minor things as a fishing expedition to pull people over, just to make sure that maybe they had something. And and if they were guilty, they were guilty. But to use deceptive manners to do it really goes against what I think is fair and honest policing. But there were people that were guilty. We did our thing, and I think that everybody that has a chance needs to serve on the jury, and be one of the peers that people need. And then we will all be able to see things that we think is wrong, but it's not. To serve your city, serve your county, serve your state, and your action. And also, one of the last thing was at the hospital again, and I had somebody that was in the emergency room. I remember when I was a child, the hospital rooms and the emergency rooms floors you could eat off of. I wouldn't even label some of the floors that I saw. Dried blood, there was trash on the floors, rooms that were like that. I know we said something about they're doing some capital improvement, giving some money for that. But maybe we might need to use some money to help them get some more employees. And if employees don't do their
let's move on to council comments. Ms. Harris, let's start with you.
I want to thank our finance director, Jessica Leonard, for an outstanding job in putting this budget together, and all the department heads who contributed and have done their part as well. It's been tough, I know, but I just want you to know how much I appreciate you and all our other department heads and anyone who had anything to do with compiling this very complex document. Thank you.
I wanted to say, and I actually forgot to say this when we were voting on it during council discussion, but the $400,000 that we're allocating to the hospital, they will follow some of the same requirements that we give to other entities. So they would have to request and give us documentation of what they're using those funds for, for us to distribute those funds back to them. And that's that accountability piece that I preach all the time. It's important for us to know where taxpayer dollars are going. If you're saying that you're using it for a specific purpose, that money should be used for that purpose. Thankfully, we have some great people at the hospital that have no issue with accountability, so I do want to thank them for that. To your piece, Mr. Ray, we do create policy. It's local policy, but we have ordinances that we create. We just cannot override state legislation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Mr. Folks to work with, possibly get with the police chief and see if there is a policy pertaining to the 100 feet. I don't know that rule, if there is a rule, and then, because that might be an isolated situation that Mr. Folks can address in that sense. Other than that, I hope you all have a safe and productive evening. Thank you.
So, ditto to what both Councilwoman said. Sarah spoke about the wonderful job that was done by Ms. Leonard. I just want to mention one thing. When I came onto the council, when this council started this time, my memory serves me correctly, we had a $42 million budget. And I think now we're at 46. So 3 years. So that tells me one thing. Something is working. Something is going right. Whether we like it or not, anytime you can grow the city's budget by $3-4 million, and we have a lot of businesses coming, so that's where we have a lot of businesses to open. But that means our accountability, the things that we're doing, we're going in the right direction. We're getting the best back the right way. To the concern about 100 feet, I mean, that is concerning. But as Councilwoman as well, we're going to get that look into the city. And if those are policies that we're practicing here in Anniston, I'm quite sure that it will be easy to get those rectified. What we don't want to do, we want our police force to be community friendly. Now, you got to understand that sometimes, Mr. Jenkins said, sometimes people do it. But what it is, we'll look into that. Heat index is high. Check on your loved ones. Please stay hydrated. Football season started. With all the local sports going on, go out and support the local school. And I got to find out when I need to talk to get our banners that say go out and go forward. But anyway, that's all. That's a good job.
Just real quickly, I want to echo some of these other comments and thank Ms. Leonard and Mr. Post both for your leadership in this budget process. We've been doing this now for a dozen years, and this is the easiest budget cycle I've been through. Some of that is, I believe, attributed to unprecedented growth in I'm thankful for our community. I do believe we are moving Anniston in the right direction, and that we will continue to see this growth moving forward. So I'm excited about it. It has not come easy, and it has not come on just the backs of the citizens. The city itself has invested a significant amount of money in our downtown, in some of our drainage issues, in several lingering problems that have been not here for a year or two, but in some cases 20 years, and waiting for a resolution. So I'm proud that we've been able to make those kind of improvements as well. Excited about what the future holds. So thank you all.
I too would just like very quickly echo these comments about about the budget. Thank Mr. Folks and Jessica for their very hard work during this process, but also, you don't want to commend the council for working so well together, collaboratively together, and how well we all work with city staff. Things really are going well right now. I believe that they will continue to do so. We put out some information today. Jay just alluded to, go to the city's website, Facebook page, to look at information on recent economic development updates, quality of life, affordable housing. We really have some really tough issues that we still must address. Some really big ticket items are on the horizon for this council to, as I said, to address and hopefully make it easier on future councils. But again, it's something we're all in this together, and we all have to work together to make this city all that it can be. But I do want you to know that I am proud and honored to serve with this group of people, both on the council and on staff, who have the best interests of the city and Annistonians at heart. And it's a real blessing to be a part of that, and I'm thankful for that. With that, I will move that we stand in adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Jenkins?
Yes.
Councilmember Roberts?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Draper?
Yes, we are adjourned.